Hey Bing Bongs. It's me, Jay Eastwood. Jay Eastwood of PeanutButter&Triggered. I have a little contest here for you. A little contest that Scotty doesn't know about. The contest is a sticker giveaway, you see. The stickers are coveted Peanut Butter and Triggered logo. Yeah, that's right. That's the one with the squirt gun squirting the peanut butter. That's the one. So, contest goes as follows. Go onto our social media, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you're comfortable with. Hell, I don't even care. You can even send us an email at pbtpod@gmail.com. Tell us how you're going to be using your stickers. Is it going on a laptop, a refrigerator, your bumper, or are you covering up that boring old peanut butter jar logo? Well, let us know. And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Welcome to Peanut Butter and Triggered. Today, we're a little late, so we do apologize to everybody who waited for us. I know there are multiple people who missed us this week, so we're sorry we're late this week, and we're sorry we didn't have one last week.
For all three of you, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. So, of course, I'm Scott, joined by my good guy, Jay.
Hey, everybody. It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you.
Yeah, we shouldn't have left you. And we're talking about E3 today, and we have a whole lot of different insights to talk about E3. We have different things we'd like to talk about, and if you stay in long enough, we're going to talk about our best in show and our favorite conferences.
Yeah, and the other cool thing that we'll talk about are going to be some of our least favorites in that conference as well. Like,
Heard that.
Who sucked, who was not what we were expecting, and most importantly, who's going to give us a lot more room for growth in this particular E3 conference.
Oh, absolutely. I thought it was overall, I thought it was a pretty decent E3 conference. I mean, I don't know if there's any, I think there's one really large announcement, but there wasn't really a whole lot behind it. But overall, it was a decent conference, I thought.
I mean, I was left, and this is like maybe the second time I've really tuned in for each conference with a lot of anticipation. I think that this specific one is definitely the better of the few that I've seen, and there's a lot of stuff that they didn't necessarily, give away the whole concept of the game yet. There's a lot left to be left up to the imagination of the gamer.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they displayed a lot of stuff that I'm extremely
There's
excited
a lot
about.
Displayed, and in previous E3s we had like bands and stuff, and all this frill-frow, if I call it, frilly friller.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of bullshit, and the Microsoft conference was like game after game after game. The Sony conference was just game after game after game.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't a lot between, which was cool, because it's like, that's why we're here. We're not here to watch the CEO of PlayStation talk for 20 minutes. It's like, yeah, we know you're making games. Okay, let's see them.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've noticed this, but the difference between the particular conferences, as far as PlayStation and Microsoft, were pretty huge.
Yeah.
PlayStation again, and I don't know if I don't think you've actually explained this on any of the other previous episodes, but Scott and I were having a discussion, and basically PlayStation puts on this huge event with all of the theatrics, whereas Microsoft is very utilitarian in their presentations. It's somewhat fun, but it's pretty straightforward and to the point. And they stuck to the guns on that one, to almost an extreme, right? Yeah,
it used to be Xbox was really, it had a lot going on. They had demos of new hardware and all this stuff, and it seemed like this year, I feel like Xbox heard that you just want to see games, and I think PlayStation still did its thing, or Sony still did its thing, where it's going to show you games. That was while they're here.
Yeah.
They said we're coming with 4 solid games, and we're going to have some other announcements, and I think that both conferences were really good.
I would agree with you completely. I was left in awe on each of them, and I was actually extremely surprised that I was going to be able to watch the majority of them away from work.
Yeah, you got lucky.
Yeah, I got very lucky. So I just sat there in my sweatpants on my sofa and popped it on my television, and it was spectacular.
It's something that's really cool, and, Ben knows a guy, and he says he might be able to get us tickets next year, real talk. Yeah.
Where the hell has Ben?
He couldn't
I think he had a bathroom emergency.
He had a bathroom emergency. He pooped his pants.
Yeah.
Well,
You pooped your pants.
there you go.
Oh, there he is.
So we're going to talk about a couple different things. I think it's the best thing to do is to open up with Nintendo, because that's the one that I think me and you are probably least excited about.
Yeah, I mean, and for a few reasons, but it's not like I hate Nintendo by any means. It's just like out of the three major consoles, I mean, that's kind of stayed true to what most people are excited about. But go ahead, like what were you going to say about Nintendo's?
Well, I think that the big solid AAA games are coming out on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. I think I think Nintendo gets some solid games, but it's like late. Oh, congratulations, they finally got Skyrim. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But they did announce a few cool first-party games. First off, they have, of course, Pokemon. They have a few new Pokemon.
And I'm excited about that.
They have the whole market cornered in terms of being able to take your console with you, which is cool. It's cool to play Skyrim on the go. That's cool.
Maybe not for long. We'll get to that later, though.
Exactly. Next, the biggest announcement they had was Super Smash Brothers, which is kind of cool. The roster that they have is just unreal.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the most impressive rosters on a fighting game I've ever seen.
I'm coming.
Exactly.
Basically, yeah. So, I think there were even some surprises in that roster that not a lot of people expected. I know that one surprise that's near and dear to my heart is we see a voice come back for one of our spectacular heroes.
Of course, one of your favorite games.
Snake Plissken is now voiced by David Hayter again.
Yep. Which is actual Snake,
it's real Snake,
not
Snake
Kiefer
Prime.
Sutherland.
It's not
Kiefer Sutherland did
Jack Bowser.
Yeah, Kiefer Sutherland did a decent job, but it's not Snake. That's not Snake's voice. So I don't understand why they changed it. But anyway, a couple ones that I noticed personally. Duck Hunt as a character.
That's a strange one, though.
It is. These are all strange. Dr. Mario.
I'm into that one.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Also, all three of the Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard as individual characters. Kind of cool, because before it was Pokemon Trainer, I think.
Yeah.
And you swapped them in and out. Maybe that's still a thing, but I don't know. Those are just a few that, just looking at it, where I thought it was kind of interesting. I mean, that's cool. And Pac-Man. That's another one.
Pac-Man.
So,
that's a good one.
Those are other things that Nintendo announced. I mean, Splatoon 2, which personally that just doesn't do anything for me. And Hollow Knight and Fortnite coming to Switch. So just games that have already been released that are getting re-released, which I'm like, those aren't big. That's not big news to me.
Me either, and I'm just kind of excited for the people that only have a Nintendo that they'll be able to play.
Yeah.
But
welcome to the 21st century.
Yeah, it doesn't do much for me.
Well, do you have anything else to say about the Nintendo press conference? I don't have a lot to say about that one.
No, it just came and it went, and that's about it.
Yeah, and it was on the last day, and it was the only one, and I didn't really watch the whole thing. I just kind of watched the updates. Now, the Xbox press conference. Now, what we can 100% agree with is this was jam-packed with content.
Yeah, I'd be willing to say that this was my favorite of the two, but I'll explain why later, too.
Yeah, I think the Xbox was completely slammed with content. The amount of games they had was, we go into it, they had 6 exclusives, and 4 of those are AAA titles.
Yeah.
So, exclusives include Halo Infinite, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Crackdown, Forza 4. Where's a Forza 5?
4.
4, okay.
4 Horizon.
Battletoads, and Gears of War 5. Those are their big 6.
Okay.
Well, I'm excited about every single last one of those. The ones that really stick out to me that, I'm going to get day one would be Forza Horizon 4.
Yeah, it's a solid-looking game. It's in London, right, or England?
It's in England, and then the cool thing about that I would say that they've toyed with or they've played with would be dynamic seasons.
That's cool.
Times of night. And then the other thing is going to be like a raid style event where you and all of your friends or your friends' drivatars go and compete against like kind of a boss, like whether it's like a huge blimp
Wow.
or it's
That's
like a
kinda cool.
train or a hovercraft or whatever.
They're just doing whatever they can to get more out of the racing genre, which is cool. Like, it's different.
Well, last year was Hot Wheels tracks.
Yeah, which was cool too.
Yeah, I think that the whole Horizon series is a fresh take on racing games in general, because not only are they taking real world cars, they're also taking the ability to be able to tune those vehicles and then, customize all your graphics, but they're also giving you like an open world, like where like a
to do
a
something
playground.
fun. Yeah, which is huge. I know that you're talking about seasons, and it's cool because they had that mountain expansion where you could get like an F-150 or whatever, and you could go off-roading. That was something it's fun. It's different. Like, yes, it's cool to be able to drive like a Veyron. That's awesome.
But the lame thing about it before is that those were DLCs. These are just going to be built into the game.
That's what's cool. It's like they've taken what they've done with that and they've kind of moved it in, which is awesome. Forza does look really clean, and I think it's the definitive best racer on console, period. I don't think you can argue
that. There's nothing that competes with it, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And probably, you could say probably one of the best racers there are, if not the best racer there is, period, on any console or anything.
Correct.
Other things they showed, of course, Halo. They're going to show Halo Infinite. Looked clean, looked good.
At the very least, I'll watch somebody play that.
Yeah. I don't have a lot to say about Halo. I'm not a huge Halo fan, but it's cool they're getting more. We're getting more Halo. That's cool.
Yeah. What other exclusives were you excited about?
Exclusive-wise, Gears of War 5 again. I think those are their power too.
Yeah.
Halo, Gears of War 5. Those are really their bread and butter.
You're not excited about Battletoads?
No, I was just going to go into Battletoads.
Oh.
You're definitely more excited about Battletoads than I am.
Yeah, it's a game to play with my bae.
Yeah. The only thing that I don't like about Battletoads is I just didn't see anything of it. Just said Battletoads.
Yeah, no, you're right. But I think that the cool thing is we kind of know at least a little what to expect, and we kind of get the idea that it's going to be like, the whole hand-drawn like sort of style. Yeah.
It's like 2.5D in 4K.
Exactly. Yeah. So, if it's going to be a side-scroller where you can... It almost gives me the sort of feel of, like, Don't Starve. No, that's another
or
one.
Cuphead.
Or Cuphead, yeah. So, those are definitely games that I like, or I would like to play. And I'm excited for Battletoads because I don't think we've had a taste of Battletoads for a long time.
Yeah. So that's definitely
return.
that's definitely a welcome return. Ori and the Will. There you go. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I don't know anything about that game, to be honest with you, so I couldn't tell you if I'm excited for it or not, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm not really.
Now the other big non-exclusive games that they did talk about, they had some super solid games that they showed. They showed the first of Fallout 76.
Yep.
Huge game. That's one I'm very excited about. They showed the first of Shadows Die Twice, which is kind of a Ninja Gaiden style like game.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, that was one of the ones that they teased at on Instagram for a while that nobody really knew what was going on.
So that looks really cool. I know Ben that he's all over that one.
Yeah, rest in peace, Ben.
Yeah. Metro Exodus, which is more of an open world Metro game, that I'm excited for.
Yep, me too.
The Division 2 looked really solid.
It did, but I'm gonna hold my enthusiasm for that game until I actually get my hands on it, because I don't want to repeat what happened with Division 1. The Division 1 now is a vastly different game for anybody who doesn't know than it was when it came out. When it first came out, it was pretty lame, and now it's a super solid game now. My friend Kevin hates me for not feeling any enjoyment that comes from Division.
Yeah, and now I go back and I play. I didn't get super deep, but it's a good game. They had also Kingdom Hearts 3, if you're into that. That one looks kind of... you're going to get some hate for that. People love Kingdom Hearts.
Sorry, Robert.
I don't know if Robert loves Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, never mind. Sorry, other people.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Personally, I could care less about the Tomb Raider anymore.
Yeah, it looks okay.
Looks like, I mean,
I'll give just based off of the looks from it right now, I'm gonna give it a C+.
I guess when it becomes free on PlayStation, PlayStation Store, I'll download it and like play through it when I'm bored. Like it's not something I'm going to rent or anything.
Yeah, the physics of that game don't look at all realistic.
No.
I know it's a video game, and I know it's just it's a Tomb Raider game, but give me some at least like semi-realistic things that are going on in that game.
I agree with you. Another game that I really could care less about is Devil May Cry. I don't really care for that series.
It did actually look pretty interesting though.
Looked okay. I mean, it's just not my cup of tea. It's never been my thing.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
Okay, I can understand that, and then you'll have to report back to us.
Nah, I probably won't give it a shot then. I'm not hating it.
Now here's one for you that you're really pumped for: Dying Light 2.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is a game that one of Jay's favorite games.
Yeah, I feel like the coolest parts about that particular game really bled through into the sequel, and I think that the developers really answer to their clamoring fans, and they made that game especially for me.
Yeah.
Anything for my princess.
And then the other cool thing that I do enjoy, and I believe this has come out in the news recently, within like maybe the past couple days or something like that, they're not going to be doing a battle royale. They're going to be staying out of that whole arena of battle royales. Yeah.
I'm wondering if it's just a limitation of that. I mean, that game just isn't made for 100 people. It's made for like 4.
Right. Well, and the last one was really only made for like a few people too, but they had a battle royale mode.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
Like where you had like little side missions on like online play.
Huh.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like they could have easily done that, but it's like that's not really their grind. Thing. That's not really their grind. They're after a completely different style of game.
Yeah. Well, there's that one. Just Cause 4. That's kind of a fun, silly Grand Theft Auto style game where you can like hook rockets to cows and stuff.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
I mean, it's all right.
It's all right. Yeah, it's another one. The big one that everyone was going all in about was Cyberpunk 2077, which is from the crew, Project Red, who are G's.
I'm excited for it. I'm the only thing that I feel like they're getting negative press for, and this is kind of a good thing.
Yeah.
Is the full frontal nudity. If that's the only thing that you can complain about the game for, then I think that you're probably doing all right. We'll wait until the game comes out, but like,
who cares?
I've heard bad things about every single one of these games that we've seen trailers for, and they're realistic concerns. But this one, full frontal nudity,
everyone's super excited about it. The other thing that they've been doing is trashing people like EA because in all their code they've been putting "Save the greed for the others,"
right?
Which is like, yeah. Because EA came out and said, no loot boxes, but you'll be able to buy premium content from a loot drop. It's like, okay.
So these are just semantics at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
So thanks, EA.
Yeah,
you're great.
Thanks,
you're
EA.
doing fine.
You're the best.
Yeah.
But that's really the extent of what Xbox had to release. I have to say that's not even all of it, but that's a super impressive list.
Another important thing that we forgot to mention is they teased further into being able to play on a mobile platform.
Oh, yeah.
Which it could mean some serious competition for the Switch. Yeah. Now, what it means specifically, I don't know, but they were boasting that they're going to be able to do full gameplay from console games on
Streaming.
A mobile platform,
yeah.
Which is great, and it alludes to something that we spoke about with our wishes for next-gen consoles, and that might be
Cloud gaming.
Yeah, and that might be exactly why we haven't heard much of a new Xbox.
That could be. I mean, that's super exciting. I know also Steam, the PC people, they're doing betas of being able to play on your phone too. So I haven't even played around with that.
I think Nvidia's had one out for a while, right?
Yeah, like the Shield, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know the full breadth of all that, but yeah. So I mean, there's exciting things coming, and I think Xbox really had a very, very good conference. I would give them like an 8.5 to a 9. I mean, that's a really solid conference. I think. I don't know about you.
The reason why I liked it is because it was one thing after another, and I left for the most part pretty satisfied.
No, for
pretty
sure.
Damn satisfied.
And one thing that came out today, or maybe it was yesterday, is that Fallout 76 is going to be a console exclusive, early release console exclusive for Xbox.
Yeah. Well, even more good news for the people that have Xbox.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, the next big conference, obviously, that they had was PlayStation. And I think they had a super solid conference as well.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, it was not as good as Microsoft's, but it was still really good. It was interesting enough to where I stayed tuned for the entire thing again, because like a lot of times I'll really tune out if I'm not really into something.
Yeah, so if we look at numbers to numbers, Xbox had 6 exclusives, 4 of those being AAA titles. PlayStation had 8 exclusives, 4 of those also being AAA titles. Now, PlayStation had more in-depth looks at their big exclusives.
Yeah.
And Xbox seemed to have more of multiplats. Now, the list of games that I have for Xbox comparatively to PlayStation, it's significantly smaller for PlayStation, but we got a lot more out of PlayStation. And the first thing that they did is they opened up on kind of a church scene.
Yeah.
Like, it was like they were in a church. The PlayStation press conference was in a church-looking thing. And that opened right into the Last of Us 2 trailer.
Yeah.
Gameplay.
Can I say something about the major difference, again, between PlayStation and Xbox? Not only were the presentations vastly different as far as, like, you know, a utilitarian versus, like, an artistic approach, I want to say that the footage of gameplay was vastly different.
Between the
hyper-realistic graphics and beautiful colors and beautiful sharpness in every single one of those.
The PlayStation wanted to show off that the games that they have coming up are the most beautiful games in the gaming industry.
Right.
The few that they had that we'll talk about, I mean, blew me away. I mean, like, again, starting with The Last of Us, the graphics look really good. Now, I also heard this week, according to the director of The Last of Us, you will not play as Joel at all in The Last of Us. You will only play as Ellie. That could be a fib, but what that makes me believe either way is that you're playing as Ellie in most of the game.
Yeah.
I know you don't care as much about that.
Well, I might surprise you here. I want to play that game just to see what's going on with it, because the gameplay looked good.
It looks super clean, specifically the melee combat.
Yeah, and I feel like that's something that was missing out of the last one, because, and forgive me, because it's been ages since I've even played that one. After my first go-around, I didn't even touch the game. But the second part of The Last of Us, the gameplay is fluid, the gameplay is dynamic, so that does kind of give hints of, like, you know, maybe different skills that will be earned, different perks. I'm gonna be really excited if that's the case. That gameplay looks excellent.
It looked super clean. It looked dark. Very dark.
Yeah.
Even more dark than the first game.
Now, I hope it's not going to bounce between, like, different timelines within this particular story, because...
You didn't like the year-to-year, the year season thing?
No, it's not that. I just don't like going back to, like a dance and then...
I get where you're coming
switching
from.
back to combat. It's like, oh, let me play through this part,
I would agree with you.
and then we'll get to a story or a cutscene.
I would agree with you, and I'm wondering, the question is that actually part of the story, how that comes through, or was that just part of the trailer they showed?
Right. Like, if it's just part of the presentation, fine, great, I'm okay with that, but don't, please, for the love of God, don't do that. I don't want any of my gameplay interrupted abruptly.
I'm with you on that, because it is one fluid story in The Last of Us Part 1, and we don't want a chopped up story. Now, the interesting thing I also noticed, or that everyone noticed, is if you watch that trailer, the girl that she's in love with, or whatever, that they kiss, she's wearing a bracelet. And when they click to her in whatever the future, whatever it is, fighting the dudes, Ellie's wearing that bracelet, and it makes you think maybe she died. Now, everyone also says that you can transmit the disease through a kiss. So there's a lot of people on Reddit talking about she might have infected the girl when she kissed her because Ellie is infected.
Right.
And that's like interesting things.
Talk about a kiss of death.
Whew, hurt that. But so we could talk about The Last of Us a lot, but I think we can both agree that the gameplay looked really fluid, the gameplay looked really fun, and it looked like a really beautiful game.
Yeah. Yeah, and that could be said about a lot of the games that we saw at this PlayStation conference.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's the next game that you want to talk about?
The next game I would like to talk about would be a big one that really made me super happy, which is Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Okay, I am legitimately coming about this because that was, and if you've listened to our previous episodes, that was one of my favorite two Resident Evil games.
And it's a super solid Resident Evil game, and the gameplay they showed made me really excited. It looks like a mix of Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 2, which is class act.
Yeah, the graphics are great, and then the other part about it that I'm excited about is that after every single sort of like live gameplay demonstration, the graphics and the combat, coupled with the ability to be able to like heal yourself on the fly, that wasn't sacrificed at all. Like as far as the playability of it, it feels real time. I want to say that they're also going to bring back the Tetris style inventory system.
I hope. Did they say they would?
From a demo of the gameplay that I saw, it looked like that's what was going on.
I'm so excited.
Yep.
I love that. I love turning like a green herb to fit a shock grenade or explosive grenade or whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna work up some more herb recipes.
Because in Resident Evil 7, the inventory system was just like there's like 8 spots or something, and it was just like up on your D-pad, left on your D-pad, right.
Yeah.
Boring to me. I loved the idea. It's like, can I take this? What can I sacrifice? What can I drop? And it's not just everything's one inventory slot,
right,
which is really cool. And
it seems like conservation is going to be another big part of this particular game too, because in the past that's what it's been like, especially in Resident Evil 2.
Yeah,
and if you're left without bullets, then you're fucked.
Yeah, and Resident Evil 2 had a lot of cool kind of weapons customization.
Right.
Like you had to find the stock for the pistol.
Yeah.
And Resident Evil 4 did it well. Like you get the stock, and now it takes up 2 more extra squares. Do you want to do that?
Or turning like a Magnum into a Desert Eagle into a Magnum. I forget.
Yeah, with a longer barrel or whatever they did.
Right.
That stuff was really cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, and
it changed the game, man. Big time. Literally.
So that game I'm really excited about. Again, this is where we get back to like, I think Xbox had like super solid games, but the few that Sony announced were extremely solid, like Resident Evil 2.
Correct.
The next game, they showed more Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah. One big, huge one that I think me and Jose, when we first saw a little bit about this, were really apprehensive as to if we liked it. And then we watched a YouTube video talking about what it was kind of about. And it's Delivery Simulator, a.k.a. Death Stranding.
Yeah, I completely agree. Oh, yeah. No, all right, that's enough.
Okay, you can stop.
All right, that was that. It was a good joke. Okay, so it's true though, because it does feel like a delivery simulator, and there's not much story explanation when it comes to Death Stranding, which is kind of disconcerting.
Well, maybe they're.
But with some of the like new demonstration footage that we've seen on this game, and some of the breakdowns and some of the Easter eggs or things we missed, this game looks very playable. It looks very interesting, and I mean, it's a Kojima game,
Yeah, I highly recommend going and watching the Death Stranding trailer, and then going back and watching an explanation of the Death Stranding trailer.
Yeah.
Because when we first watched it, we were both like, I mean, it looks okay, I guess. I don't know what it's about. Like, we couldn't get behind it. And then we watched one explanation. We're like, dang, this looks cool, actually. The
only good thing I could have said about it upon seeing the trailer was that it looks beautiful.
Yeah,
aside
definitely
from that,
a good-looking game.
I was angry because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
It opened with like a baby's butt, and then he flipped around and gave you like a thumbs up.
Yeah, it was like in his esophagus or something.
Yeah, that's weird. So
go out and find the explanation of Death Stranding. You're going to be much more entertained, and I guarantee you're going to want to play a little bit of it at least.
Again, another one of those games that part of the Sony conference that looked super polished, looked super fleshed out, like it looked like a super solid game.
Yeah.
And part of their kind of one of their 4 games that they brought to bear.
They have a huge all-star cast in that game too, which is another awesome part about it. And their character models are impeccable.
So and of course Kojima. So yeah. Another one we had, which I'm not as excited about. You're a little more excited. Spider-Man.
Oh yeah. Who doesn't want to be Spider-Man in a giant open world? Oh,
everyone's buzzing about Spider-Man.
Buzzing? Can you please start buzzing? Thank you.
And everyone says the people who have played the game say it's solid. It feels like you're Spider-Man flying around and everything. To me, I'm just like, I don't really care about Spider-Man. But that's just me. But I know people are really excited.
But if it's anything like any of the other Spider-Man games, like you're going to be able to complete missions or complete like certain objectives in the game, or be a certain character to be able to unlock a new suit, or maybe there's like scavenger hunts where you can collect a certain hidden item to collect pieces to your new suit or whatever it might be. The whole idea of that being like little Easter eggs, I think those are going to be the fun part. The other thing that I think could be the fun part would be like, I don't know, going on your own to be able to help, Mrs. Old Lady get her purse back from a robber while Mysterio is planning some big heist. You got to pick which one you're going to do, and you have to be able to do it in a timely manner.
Yeah, I think there's. I mean, it looks interesting. I'll probably end up playing it, but it's not something I'm like overly excited, like super excited about. Bruh.
Yeah, for real.
Now, I think this is definitely the game that took me by surprise. Is Ghost of Tsushima. Tsushima? Tsushima?
Yeah.
I mean, dang, that game looked good.
That game is on point. I'm highly, highly erect about this game.
Yeah, when they first showed a trailer for it, I was like, I don't know what it's about, but when they showed gameplay, it's as good as it gets.
I mean, the graphics were on point. The physics of the game looked pretty dang realistic.
The leaves looked freaking amazing.
Yeah.
The whole ambiance of the game looked amazing. Like, it looked like a real samurai game, which we haven't had.
It felt like I was watching a movie.
It was so good. The when he's riding the horse through the waves, and I don't know fully what this is about, but it's like samurai killing people, and that's awesome.
Who can't get on board with that?
Some of the fighting looked really cool. It looked like he was like almost like a duel. He's like dueling the guy.
Yeah, it was almost like a western mixed with a samurai.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and he's standing there, and the guy attacks him, and he swipes and just kills him with one slice. And then there's some interesting parrying-looking mechanics, and then he ends up kind of like winding up and cutting through someone's spear and cutting their arm off and finishing him up on the ground like finisher. Dang, it looked clean.
Yeah. And then the other thing that looked really cool too is it looks like that there's a stealth targeting system. Like if you're sneaking up on an opponent and they have no idea that you're about to kill them, you can choose how you're going to do it, and then you got to be able to map something out to be able to get a really good stealth kill.
Which, again, looks like a lot of fun.
Right. Reminds me of Tenchu in a way.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Throw down some poison rice and let's go.
Yeah. Which, I'm still disappointed that Shadows Die Twice isn't Tenchu. I thought it would be Tenchu. Because I love Tenchu. Little Raikamaru.
Yeah,
or
man.
Raikamaru.
Tenchu was my jam. I loved it. That was one of my favorite games, man.
Me too. My money, my money. You remember that?
No, but
at the end of the first level, you go in, and this guy's like, I think he has like hookers everywhere.
Nice.
And it's a boss battle. He has a pistol, and he shoots at you, and you kill him, and he goes, and he's like, as he dies, Rikamaru's like, Ichiguru, your greed sickens me, and I hope your death is a lesson to others. and he's bleeding out, and is spurting blood everywhere, and the guy's like, my money, my money. Because that's the last thing. Yeah, the end of the first level. Mm-hmm. I always remember that. Your greed sickens me. I hope your death is a lesson to others. Classic PlayStation 1.
It's baller, dude.
Yeah. But that game looked amazing.
I wish we would have seen more, like, just more stages, like different terrains that you could participate in.
But again, this is like OG announcement too, so kinda.
Well, I mean, they could have done what Resident Evil did and give more gameplay after demonstrations afterward.
Yeah, that's the only.
So there's a lot left up to the imagination for that.
For sure, and I would agree with you on that. Like, there's a lot still. Who knows? Maybe at the end of the day, I always call it. It's like the katana bat. You end up like hitting a guy 10 times with your katana and doing a single finisher where you cut off his arm. Like, I hope it's not like that.
Right.
But we'll see, I guess.
I mean, it didn't look like that.
It didn't look like that at all.
Right.
But we'll see, because it's still early gameplay. We don't know what it's going to be. It could have been all...
Well, with that parrying system, maybe that's going to be your best friend.
I hope so.
You don't die super fast.
I hope so. That'd be really cool. And I guess the Neo 2... Ben's not here. That's his grind.
Yeah. I feel like out of the three of us, I'm not really that excited about it, just because
You're not much of a Souls guy, though.
Well, yeah, that's true.
That's definitely a Souls game.
But, it doesn't look terrible. It looks alright.
I mean, it was just like, it was kind of a crappy trailer. It just said Neo 2. I was like, cool, I guess. I would have liked to see some gameplay. It looked like Neo 1, but only with the 2 on it.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's a game called Control, which honestly I could care less about. It looked like, I don't know what it looked like. It was weird. It was like Interstellar or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, dude. I'd see that's the funny thing is like that game is so forgettable.
Yeah.
That I had no idea what you were talking about until you said Interstellar.
And it had all those weird, like, I don't even know how to describe it, like trippy acid trip vibe to it.
Yeah. So as if like I feel like they're going to lean really heavily into different dimensions and the idea of those particular
Not
theories.
my grind.
Yeah, I'm not into it. Sorry.
Other conferences. Well, do you have anything else to say about the PlayStation conferences?
I do wish it was more concise.
More concise?
Yeah.
You want to see, like, shorter gameplay?
No, I just want to see gameplay, and I just want to see one after the other one. Like
So you didn't want, like, the
did.
dude with the flute?
That was the least favorite part for me.
I could see that. I
Yeah.
can understand that.
Or the banjo, the dude with the banjo that was doing the
I
Last of
agree.
Us.
I agree. They had like some. They were trying to do some musician stuff. I can see
Yeah,
that. The banjo stuff wasn't even that good. I felt like he was off.
Yeah,
I know you play. He's the guy who
play
plays the Last
fucking
of Us.
banjo, right?
Yeah, I know. He's the guy who plays the
Stupid.
Last of Us song. So.
Well, cool.
Well, there's a couple other conferences. They had the EA conference, the PC conference. I mean, one thing I wanted to point out from the EA conference, and this might be a good segue because you were talking a little bit about sports, but I wanted to talk a little bit about Battlefield 5. They had some Battlefield 5 gameplay,
yeah,
which looked okay. I mean, it looks okay.
they look great.
I mean,
I just think that, again, like we were talking about in the last episode, it is what it is. It's a Battlefield game,
Yeah.
and we don't really need to dissect it any more than that, right?
There were a few little things that I did want to talk about. You can now tow all the guns, all the emplacements behind tanks. So say you have an aircraft gun in one place, you hook it up to the tank and you drive somewhere else. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But that goes along with, it looks like now you can actually fortify positions with sandbags and stuff, or tank traps.
Right.
So on like rush mode, you can actually build up a defense. That's kind of cool, I guess. I mean, it's different. It's different than they had before. Dig a trench. That's kind of cool, I guess. Just expanding out Battlefield. Now the big thing that they announced is no loot boxes, but yeah, okay. But
Cool.
the premium pass, you no longer have to buy a premium pass. You just get all the content for free. That's cool.
Yeah, so you just got to fork over all your money at once rather than slowly.
No,
but
no,
surely.
not for Battlefield. $60 you buy the game, and
Okay.
that's it. You don't have to buy any pass, nothing.
Okay,
you just
good,
get everything
good.
for free. Call of Duty, on the other hand, makes you. It sounds like you can't buy them incrementally. You just have to buy the whole package, which they haven't even announced how much that is. Call of Duty's going the opposite route and pissing people off even more so.
Man, Call of Duty
Looks like
can't
garbage.
catch a break, huh?
Other than that, Battle Royale like low key cool. We'll see though.
Yeah.
Oh, they also announced a Battle Royale for Battlefield 5. I want to say that too.
Yeah, well,
Same with
it's
every
the
other game.
latest trend, so here we go. Everybody's strapping for a battle royale and everything except for Dying Light, and no, that's it. That's the only one that's not doing a battle royale, right?
The Last of Us.
Oh, we'll see.
We'll see.
The other thing that EA talked about was their sports games.
Yeah.
So,
Or didn't a little bit talked about, I guess.
well,
Oh, they talk about, I guess, FIFA and stuff, yeah.
FIFA, Madden.
I know, but Madden was like a single trailer. They didn't even show a game. Well, it was like a gameplay reveal, but it was like kind of a trailer.
Yeah.
Like, I
Well,
didn't get to see what it looked like when I was playing.
NBA Live, that's another one that was kind of hinted at, and after all of the hoopla of like E3 was over, the biggest complaint now is the graphics again.
Yeah.
After they polished up the graphics a little bit more for Live 18, Live 19 looks like they took a giant step backwards.
It's just weird, man. I don't know how they do this kind of stuff. Because Madden looks okay, and FIFA looks okay, but there's nothing that's like blowing my mind right now.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, this is a little bit on the subject, but NBA 2K, they're not doing much better. Mm-hmm. The game looked terrible, too. And then the new thing is the new shot timer. When they were just gonna bail on the shot timer because it was so broken. NBA
Bail?
2K, yeah, they were just gonna just pull it out, and then
What was broken about it?
you could have like nearly a perfect release, like maybe just a sliver off of a perfect release, and then you just clank off the back rim or the back iron, and then you miss. And they were going to pull it for like online mode. They were going to they did ask their fans actually if they could pull it and then just use like shooter percentage as the
Oh yeah, okay, I get you.
as the definitive shot maker. And people were like, no, don't do it. That's why you have a shot timer. It's all skills based. If you take that out, then there's nothing left of the skill of a player.
Yeah. Well, it should be interesting. I mean,
shame on you, sports games.
Yeah, sports games definitely don't really get shined much on E3.
Hey, man. No EA Skate 4.
Yes, we forgot about that.
Session's not bad, though.
Session looks interesting. Kind of a EA dropped the ball. They should have Skate 4.
Yeah, that was a huge rumor that we were going to get Skate 4, and I kept waiting. That's actually, you know what? I'm going to say it. That's the reason why I tuned in for every single conference. I'm kidding.
Skate 4.
But I did see Session. Session looks amazing.
Session looks cool, and it looks like Skate.
And it looks even more realistic than Skate because the physics are much more realistic. You can't just turn on active rock climbing control on your skateboard to just go over these boxes and stuff. Like, you actually have to get enough speed to climb over these boxes and have a solid trick
combo. Was a
combo.
big surprise Session. I mean, we didn't get Skate, but we got Session, so there's something there. The other big conference was Ubisoft, and I didn't really get much out of Ubisoft. Okay, the Assassin's Creed, congratulations.
Yeah.
The other things they showed were the Division 2. We already talked a little bit about that, but not a whole lot more out of them, so I don't really care about Ubisoft.
Yeah.
For Honor update. And a Just Dance 2019. You can't go with E3 without them announcing a Just Dance. It's so old. There's always a Just Dance. Does anybody play that game still?
I don't even know what Just Dance is.
It's like a dancing game, like with Kinect. You
oh
dance.
My god.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Other than that, we got Skull and Bones, which is like a pirate game. It looked like Black Flag, but you only control the boat.
Oh no, I don't want to do that.
Which brings us to our favorite conference. I think we know what
you all know what I feel.
What Jay's gonna say.
Yeah. It's tough because I can't really surprise anybody. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. This was sort of tough for me, only because after I heard the positioning of Scott's PlayStation conference and what he liked about it, there are major pros. I would still give it to Xbox because one, more exclusive content. The other cool thing was that they announced all of their studios, so that whenever we see a studio or an announcement of a game that a studio helped develop, we're gonna know what it's about. What was it? Undead Labs. They're going to create survival horror games, or Playground. They're going to be creating racing games or racing adventure games. We know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. I do have to stop you though. PlayStation actually had the more exclusives.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, I think that Xbox had the more exciting exclusives.
Okay, I can understand that.
And then the other thing that's really cool is that even though we have no idea what it's going to be or when it's going to be, Microsoft hinted at cloud gaming.
Yep. I mean, those are big things that Microsoft definitely hinted off more kind of hardware, more futuristic things, whereas PlayStation was focused on just the games that are coming up. Not what the console direction, if you will.
I feel like there was a little bit of something for everybody in Microsoft's conference too, whereas PlayStation, they were really going after
the dark stuff,
unbelievably beautiful games with hyper realistic gameplay.
Yeah, for sure. I would have to say this is really hard because I thought Xbox had a really solid lineup. They really do. They showed some good stuff out of Forza. They showed good stuff. I mean, they announced cool smaller games like Battletoad. But a lot of their stuff is just multi-platform. And to me, you can show multi-platform for days, and it could be the most beautiful stuff ever, but to me it's okay, I can buy that on PlayStation 4. It's not it's cool to show multi-platform, but I don't think it necessarily goes into as a positive for Xbox's conference, because you can buy it on PlayStation. Halo, super solid. I think Fallout 76 is probably going to be the definitive experience between Xbox and PlayStation. Sounds like it's going to be on Xbox. That's huge.
Yeah.
But it's really close. I probably have to still give it to PlayStation 4, specifically for one reason, and I think that they had the blockbuster Ghosts. I think that was the game that was when I saw that, I was wow. And I was impressed. I was really impressed with Forza. I was really impressed with the Shadows Die Twice thing, even though that's not an exclusive. I mean, those are really cool games, but Ghosts really blew me away, and I went into this not knowing or not expecting anything from that game.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped about those games too.
Let's talk a little bit about your bad.
The biggest one that I can say, and I'm a sports games guy. I'm not excited about any of the sports games that are coming up, man. Like, not even close to being excited.
None of them.
Whether it's the really crappy graphics of NBA Live or the really, really terrible gameplay, and I know their servers are going to suck again, of 2K Sports. It's a crapshoot every time, man. And then on top of that, like, I don't really play FIFA.
And no Skate.
I'm sorry, Sam. I don't play FIFA or Madden and no Skate. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for Session being a good game. I'm going to take a chance on it.
Okay. I can understand that.
What about you, man? Biggest baddie.
Oh, God, this was really hard. The worst, kind of the thing I thought was kind of the most lame. You know, it was a really, really solid conference. God, this is hard. I would have to probably say Doom. Doom looked lame.
Yeah.
No, I'll say this.
Okay.
Pretty much the whole Bethesda conference was pretty lame. Other than the Fallout stuff and the announcement of Elder Scrolls, everything else I could give a shit about. I thought Andrew WK or whatever his name is. Why do I have to watch it? Why do I care about Andrew WK showing up to sing?
You don't like Andrew WK?
I do, but it's like I'm watching a video game thing and he comes out and starts screaming and like, yes,
Damn,
I want to party
offended.
hard. Like, that's great.
I'm super offended.
But
I got wet.
You like, that was your big thing? You like that?
No, that was
like,
the best part of it. Wait.
It's
hang on.
not good if that's the best part.
Yeah, if that's the best part of it, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So I was probably the Bethesda conference as a whole, like, in Rage, the cool thing about Rage is I thought it was really dark, the original one. And this one looks like it's gone to Mad Max. It's from the Mad Max creators. Like, it looks kind of cool, but at the same time, I'm like, it looks like a different game. And again, Doom, I could care less about Doom. I don't know. But, I mean, it's cool we got Elder Scrolls and Fallout.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing that's really cool about specifically Fallout is we're going to kill a Mothman.
You heard that? Yeah.
I don't know if you all saw that, but
you get to kill
Mothman.
A whole bunch of those apparently West Virginia tropes.
All those lores.
All those lores, all of them. So, and we go to, what is your biggest surprise of the whole thing?
So I got a few of them actually.
Okay.
And I really want to dive into these. So the first one that I really want to talk about, I was just surprised that there was a Resident Evil 2 remake, and it actually
that's one of my biggest surprises too. It looks good,
super good. One thing that I'm hoping that they'll have, because when like you're installing a game, it takes a while. I'm hoping that there's a little mini game where you're the mouse or the rat.
Yeah.
And you gotta like avoid obstacles for death.
Like if you beat the game in under 3 hours, you get to be the mouse.
Oh yeah, because we already heard. I don't know if it's confirmed yet, but we already heard that there's going to be Hunk and Tofu.
Yeah, I think it's confirmed. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So those parts I'd say are like one of my biggest surprises. But I mean, who knows with the elements of like some of the newer Resident Evil games and stuff, and being able to introduce those into an old Resident Evil story. I know it's not necessarily a new game, but it feels like a pretty damn new game.
Yeah, I'm excited for that game for sure.
Yeah, so like, what are your biggest surprises about that game specifically?
The biggest surprises, well, that it exists.
Yeah.
How clean it looks, and the biggest surprise is from a remake I was expecting, kind of like the remake was for the remake for Resident Evil 1. I was expecting the same game with the same kind of, the camera angles and stuff, which would have been cool too. Like, I would have been happy to revisit Resident Evil 2 like that, but the biggest surprise with that is the fact that it's the Resident Evil 4 style. That's awesome.
Yeah, and even though the game has like a newer, fresher look of like all the graphics and the buildings and all the other stuff, it's still familiar.
It still looks like Resident Evil 2.
Familiar.
I'm excited for when you crash. I'm excited to pick from Claire or from Leon. I'm excited to go into the gun store and get a crossbow. Like, I'm excited to do all that stuff.
Yeah, and then the other thing that's really cool is that the whole look of the game, it feels like a horror movie.
Yeah,
like it actually feels like a horror movie, though. That's the cool part. The lighting's off. The way that the zombies move, the way that they interact with you, it feels like an actual movie.
So yeah, that's a huge surprise.
Yeah. I would say that the other major surprise for me was how much maybe it's not a surprise for all of you. I flip-flop a lot, but I flip-flopped on Death Stranding.
Yeah.
I was the biggest Death Stranding hater out there, but now I'm like super intrigued about it.
I'm with you on that. That was a big surprise for me too, that they swapped it.
Yeah.
Or that I feel like I'm into that game now.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
Because you know what? That was one game that I feel like that you would give a try no matter what. And then after we saw the trailer, we were like, okay, this game looks stupid because I don't want to sit there watching my character deliver these packages over and over and over again.
Yeah, it was like walking simulator.
Yeah. But now it's with the way that people have broken down the trailer, and I guess I need to pay more attention to detail, but the game looks awesome.
No, I agree with you. That's a huge surprise.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe it'll still end up being shite, but
no, I agree.
If it isn't, then congratulations, Kojima, you've done it again, you beautiful bastard.
Yeah, Kojima just does it. He hits it right.
Yeah, he's kind of a weird, eclectic guy, isn't he?
Have you seen, the Metal Gear Solid? Shit's weird as hell.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate them, though. So.
No, I appreciate them. They're still weird, though. You can admit that Metal Gear Solid 4 that you have hanging up here is a weird game.
No,
but it's good.
I think it's normal.
It is weird.
It's normal.
It's not normal. It's weird. There's the one part where you're rolling around in the grass. Is that Metal Gear Solid 4? That might be Metal Gear Solid 3.
That's 3. Snake Eater?
Yeah, that's the one where you're rolling around in the poppies or whatever.
Yeah.
The daisies or whatever it is. Okay, but still, it's still weird. That game's weird. But great. It's weird in a good way.
Yeah.
I mean, the opening alone is weird. Like, you're watching TV and watching a weird cooking show.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then every loading screen or every time it installs, you're watching Snake smoking cigarettes. It says, please don't smoke cigarettes. It's bad for your health. Or it says, make sure you take a break every 2 or 3 years. It's quirky. Maybe that's a better word for it. It's still kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, you say weird, I say quirky.
Okay,
Tomato.
Yeah.
All right. Walk me through your biggest surprises.
Biggest surprise is that Fallout is multiplayer.
Multiplayer?
So, yeah. I mean, that surprised me. I didn't think Fallout 76 would be multiplayer. Or multiplayer in the way that it is. I guess they kind of said it would be probably multiplayer, but that was really surprising. And probably the game that I'm most excited for that I didn't even think about is Metro Exodus. That game looks freaking sweet.
Yeah, nobody's talking about it though.
I played through Metro the first one, and then I played through part of the second one. I just lost my Game Pass, so I didn't finish playing it.
Yeah.
But dang, that game looks sweet.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it. I'll play it with you.
Yeah, heck yeah. Is this?
No,
it's
not multiplayer.
So that would probably be my biggest surprise.
Are you gonna play Fallout 76 or Red Dead?
God, they come out in the same 2 weeks. I have to talk to my wife. It's really hard. Like,
are you gonna set aside time to play both of them though? That's the only bad part. Like, even if you did buy both of them, who the hell has enough time to play both of those beautiful games?
We had talked about making a posse on Red Dead with all riding donkeys. That kind of sounds cool.
Well, now, you can also play multiplayer in Fallout.
But can you ride a donkey?
You can. I'm sure you can do something else that's just as cool, though.
You know what? I don't know.
Okay. I feel like I have to clone myself to enjoy both games.
There's 2 weeks in between them, so if I get Red Dead, or is Red Dead coming out second?
Way. There's no way you're going to be able to enjoy both of them.
You have to believe. But other than that, I think that's all we got. I don't know. Is there anything else you'd like to say about E3? Elder Scrolls 6, that's another one. Elder Scrolls 6, pumped. We know that everything that Bethesda pumps out when it comes to those two titles, Fallout and Elder Scrolls, is going to be good. So yes, Elder Scrolls 6 is good. We saw how good Skyrim is. It's going to be good. I just know it. Yeah,
when have they gotten that sort of formula wrong with any Elder Scrolls game?
They've all been
excellent. So that excellent track record. I believe in the product. It's something I'm going to play.
Yeah. So.
Another one that I guess maybe I haven't really talked about very much would be Forza Horizon 4 bringing back VW. So they have the most excellent car lineup out of any racing game ever. And then now we bring back VW since it was a huge absence in Forza Horizon 3. I would say that that's a huge impact on the way that people are going to be buying that game and buying those cars in the game itself. Because not only do they have your modern cars, they have your classic cars, and with the way that the game is super dynamic, it's going to change the way that people play that game.
Yeah, and that's one game that I think even if you had it on PlayStation, it would be way better on Xbox. Specifically because of the triggers and how they like feedback. Oh my! You have an Xbox One, don't you?
Yes.
And when you hit like gravel and you feel the R or the right trigger and the left trigger like rumbling.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing where the Xbox truly has it over PlayStation is the triggers. The feedback triggers. Triggers feedback. I don't know what to call it.
Are you triggered?
Triggered.
Well, yeah, and I'm just excited because, I mean, in real life, I'm a VW guy. It's nice to be able to buy my car and do what I want to it with unlimited, almost
but
unlimited
do they have a
funds.
2002 Camry? I want to buy my car.
They might have that generation of Camry.
Nice. 85, 90 miles an hour.
Who knows? We'll find out. That would be kind of rad, though, if they had, like, that generation of Camry, so you can
just buy my own car.
Just buy your own car and make it your own. To be honest,
you have literally no desire to buy my own car. I drive it every day.
I want to buy a 1979 Volkswagen Rabbit.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
Well, shout-outs?
Yeah, there are a bunch of shout-outs since we've been gone
We've
for
been
so
gone.
long.
I apologize again. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thanks for sticking with us. I hope this is a good episode.
Yeah, sorry. I had diarrhea, so it's all my fault.
And I we were going to do one last week, and I fully admit it was my fault. I got like a horrible migraine like I've never got before, and I had to go. I couldn't even open my eyes, so.
Yeah. Biggest shout-out goes to my man Javad. That guy has been with us from day one. I promise you guys, like, this is like our most loyal fan. He likes
Real
every
talk.
single Instagram post that we have.
Man, 50 grand.
Yeah, if he gets a MVP award, I would be the one to hand it to him personally, wherever he lives. I have no idea where he lives.
Well, there you go. Maybe we can get him on the show if he's willing to pay airfare, hotel, and everything.
Yeah. And then I guess the other shout out that I'd like to give would be to everybody that's actually been listening, because I think that we even have fans out in Spain now.
Yeah.
So,
shout
¿qué tal,
out.
everybody?
What do you say?
I said, ¿qué tal? That's like, what's up?
¿Qué tal?
Yeah, there you go. That's how you do it. And then all the Canadians, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, heck yeah. How many, do we have enough of those stickers? How many stickers do we have left?
Oh, yes. We got a few stickers that we'd like to give away to some of our fans. We just want to know how you're going to apply this sticker and where you'd apply it.
Basically, we have a few people who've responded, and I feel like there's 3 of them. Do we have 3 extra stickers?
Hell yeah, we do.
So, Robert, for saying that he's going to stick it, I think he said on his desk so he can be triggered every time he sees the fact that Jay does not like The Last of Us.
Hey, but there's a redeeming quality. I might like The Last of Us Part 2.
There you go. Raven, she wants to stick it to her desk. And there's one other. Hold up. There's one other. I just can't remember. It's Patrick.
And it's just this sticker is our logo. Who's made, or the logo is made by who again?
I don't know.
You made the logo?
Oh no, my boy Ian. I gave him that already.
Big time shout out. Ian, that logo rocks. Everybody loves it. The colors are impeccable, and the idea, all we had to do was describe it, and you put it onto paper. It was excellent, man. Giant shout out goes to you for that.
I think that's it. I think those are the 2. Actually, it's only 2.
Yeah. So
I feel like Patrick messaged me or something, but Patrick might want to, and he's been a huge supporter of us. He hits me up every time and is really disappointed when we miss out. So
shout out.
I'm gonna have to give him one. Now there's one more contest I think we're gonna do in August.
Okay.
And that contest is, if you guys are still with us, I'm gonna do a custom Madden cover for one of our fans. You can pick whoever you want to be on the front, and I'll create you a custom Madden cover.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So we have 2 contests. One of them is for a sticker.
Yeah.
Which all you have to do is go to either Facebook, Peanut Butter and Triggered, or our Instagram, Peanut Butter and Triggered.
And you can get yourself one of those.
Get one of those stickers. Tell us how you're going to use that sticker and tell us why. And then the other one is going to happen in August. We're going to be creating a custom Madden cover.
Yeah, heck yeah.
So
might be a PBT one that you might be able to download free of charge.
Yeah, for shizzle. So, with that being said, I just want to thank everybody one more time.
Super thanks.
And just keep staying triggered, and we'll do our best to keep coming at you with some new pods. And rest in peace, Ben.
Rest in peace, Ben. Bye.
Bye.
I don't know about you, but I felt like